Hidden deep in the forests and valleys of Pennsylvania are places time forgot. Towns that once buzzed with life, now silent and buried beneath moss and memory. No road signs lead to them, no tourists stop to take photos, just crumbling foundations, rusted relics, and stories that were never meant to be remembered. These weren't just ghost towns, they were homes, communities, dreams built around coal, canals, steel, and survival. But something changed. The industries collapsed, the people left, and the land slowly took everything back. In this video, we'll uncover 10 of the most haunting and mysterious ghost towns in Pennsylvania, places where the echoes still linger and nature keeps the secrets. Stick around until number 1, and you'll see why some towns are abandoned and others are deliberately erased. Number 10. Scotia. Hidden in the quiet woods near State College lies the ghost town of Scotia, a place most Pennsylvanians drive past without realizing what's buried beneath the trees. In the late 1800s, steel tycoon Andrew Carnegie had iron ore pits dug here to supply his booming empire. A full company town was built. Homes, railways, and a tight-knit workforce surrounded the mines. But as richer iron sources were found elsewhere, Scotia's usefulness dried up. Workers moved out, buildings were dismantled, and the forest crept back in. Today, hikers in the Scotia Barrens can still spot rusted rail fragments, deep ore pits, and the ghostly footprint of a town that once fueled American industry, now erased by time and trees. Number 9. Peale. In Clearfield County, deep in the woods near Grass Flat, there once stood a coal town called Peale. Founded in the 1880s, it was home to over 2,500 people and built from the ground up by the Beech Creek Coal and Coke Company. Everything a family needed was there: identical company houses, a general store, a church, and even a school. The town was booming, fueled by constant coal trains and hard labor. But as the seams thinned and coal profits fell, Peale's fate was sealed. By the early 1900s, people left. The wooden buildings crumbled. Nature moved in. Today, Peale has no signs, no open trails, just moss-covered foundations, rusted machinery, and whispers in the wind that hint at the lives once lived here. Number 8. Yellow Dog Village. Unlike most ghost towns, Yellow Dog Village in Armstrong County isn't centuries old. It was built in the 1900s for limestone company workers and their families. The houses still stand, arranged in neat rows with driveways, mailboxes, and overgrown lawns. It looks like any suburban neighborhood, except no one lives there. In the early 2000s, a water contamination issue made the homes unsafe. One by one, residents left. The windows were boarded. Some furniture was left behind. Visitors today report a strange stillness, like time has stopped. Unlike most ghost towns reclaimed by nature, Yellow Dog is preserved in its decay, a modern-day ruin that feels like its people might return at any moment, but never do. Number 7. Frick's Lock. Frick's Lock in Chester County is eerie, not because it's falling apart, but because it hasn't. Built in the early 1800s alongside the Schuylkill Canal, this town was once a bustling waypoint for goods moving between Philadelphia and coal country. But when the canal system was replaced by railroads, Frick's Lock started to fade. Later in the 1960s, expansion of the nearby Limerick nuclear power plant led to the last families being bought out. Strangely, the homes were never demolished. They remain today, boarded up but intact. Empty windows stare out like hollow eyes. The general store still stands. You can visit by appointment, but access is restricted. Walking through Frick's Lock feels like stepping into a ghost story, one that's all too real. Number 6. Rausch Gap. Tucked into St. Anthony's Wilderness in Lebanon County, Rausch Gap is one of those places you won't stumble across unless you're truly searching. In the mid-1800s, it was a small railroad town supporting the Union Canal and nearby coal operations. It had homes, a schoolhouse, a church, and even a post office. But the soil was poor, farming was hard, and every supply had to be hauled in. When the railroads expanded elsewhere and mining declined, Rausch Gap lost its purpose. By the early 1900s, it was abandoned. Now hikers on the Appalachian Trail may spot cracked stone foundations, rusted rails, and a forgotten cemetery, silent markers of a village that quietly vanished beneath the trees. Number 5. Laquin. Far in the endless mountains of Bradford County, the town of Laquin once echoed with the sound of saws and steam engines. It was built around 1902 by the Barclay Lumber Company, a booming logging operation with over 500 residents, a hotel, homes, a school, and a massive sawmill. The trees came down fast. But the success didn't last. By the 1930s, the forest was gone, and so was the town's purpose. Buildings were abandoned, the sawmill shut down, and the town was left to rot. Today, Laquin is part of the Tioga State Forest. Remains of rail lines, iron debris, and overgrown ruins still haunt the woods. The forest has grown back, but you can feel something was taken, used up, then left behind. Number 4. Alvira. Alvira, once a peaceful farming village in Union County, met a sudden and strange fate. During World War II, the U.S. government took over the land through eminent domain to build the Susquehanna Ordnance Depot, a massive weapons manufacturing facility. Homes, churches, farms, even cemeteries were seized. Families had little time to leave. Concrete bunkers were built all across the landscape, blending eerily into the trees. After the war, the factory was shut down, but the town was never returned. Alvira was erased, almost like it never existed. Today, the land is part of state game lands where you can find remnants of bunkers and worn gravestones, silent proof of a community lost in the name of war. Number 3. Cold Spring. Once a resort town deep in Lebanon County's mountains, Cold Spring was a 19th century escape for wealthy visitors drawn to its natural mineral springs. It had a grand hotel, private homes, a church, and even a train station to bring guests in from Philadelphia and Harrisburg. People came seeking healing, peace, and mountain air. But then the hotel burned down, and the trains stopped running. With no industry, no traffic, and no reason to stay, Cold Spring faded. Today it lies deep in the forest, reachable only by unmarked paths. You won't find signs or directions, just stone ruins, forgotten wells, and the strange quiet of a place that once pulsed amazing life. Number 2. Centralia. Few ghost towns are as infamous or as eerie as Centralia. Located in Columbia County, this town has been burning from below since 1962, when an underground coal seam caught fire. The blaze spread through old mining tunnels and hasn't stopped since. Streets buckled, toxic smoke rose from cracks in the earth, and sinkholes swallowed buildings. The government declared it unsafe, bought out residents, and demolished most structures. Today, just a few homes and residents remain, surrounded by warning signs and endless silence. The ground is still warm in places. The fire could burn for centuries. Centralia is more than a ghost town. It's a symbol of man's unintended destruction, smoldering beneath the surface. Number 1. Eckley Miners Village. Eckley, located in Luzerne County, isn't a ruin. It's a living ghost town. Built in the 1850s to house anthracite coal miners, it has survived intact. Rows of simple wooden homes, a company store, a church, and remnants of coal infrastructure still stand. Walking through Eckley feels like stepping into the 19th century. There are no crowds, no flashy displays, just silence and stories in the air. Today it's a museum, but not one behind glass. Some say they feel watched here. Others speak of cold spots or unexplained sounds. But Eckley's power doesn't come from ghosts, it comes from history. It reminds us that entire lives were built around the mines, and when the coal stopped, so did the towns.